Hi, I'm going to try and do another quick video on the pruning of tomatoes. Now it's one of those days. I've been in the hoop house most of the day. I'm already on clothing change number 2 or 3, I forget. We're having a weather situation in Oklahoma today, so we're just kind of hoping to make it through without the whole apocalyptic event that the news is making it sound like. So I'm in the hoop house working on something until the tornadoes come. And I've been working on my trellising, which I've got another video up on this showing you how I do that. But I wanted to show you the pruning. I've had so many people call me, text me, ask me questions about our pruning methods. Now, there's a variety of different schools of thought on pruning. And I think, personally, I believe that it's determined by the way that you are going to trellis or support your tomatoes. Now, I grow stuff close together. I do a method that I like to call aggressive companion planting, some close quarters planting. And so I am, in the other video, you'll see the kind of trellising that I do. I'm growing them straight up, and I try to keep them from bushing out and being too invasive of their neighbors. Now, so that's how I go about my pruning. One of the main things that you can just kind of across the board do is making sure that none of your leaves are on the ground. That leads to the potential for contracting and spreading diseases. So you don't want the tomato plants to have their leaves on the ground. Now, I'm in an early process here. Now, I say early. I planted these things about 3 weeks ago when they were all about 6 to 8 inches tall. And if you can see this, they are, we're looking at 18 to 24 inches tall in 3 weeks. And they are doing really well. I've got blossoms. I've even got a tomato I just spotted a while ago. But I wanted to show you one of the things that leads to that is proper pruning. Now, since I do close quarter planting, you can see in this one 4-foot wide bed, I've got 3 rows of tomatoes. In between my tomatoes, I have peppers. Now, my goal is to have my tomatoes, these are the ones that grow tall. I've got my low growers on the sides. But in these, as they get taller, I will continue to prune off the bottom branches or leaves, making more air space down there. My peppers will be down low. But that's one of the things that you can always do. You always want to make sure that none of your tomato leaves are on the ground. But I wanted to show you something else. Something that sucks the life, the energy out of your tomato plants is having these, they're called suckers, okay? Between the leaf and the stem, there is this little thing that grows right there, and it's called a sucker. It sucks the life out of your tomato. I always just pinch them off. Now, once they get pretty thick, you have to use pruning shears or scissors, something kind of sharp, because you don't want to damage your plant. But when they're small like that, you can just pinch them right off. You will get stained, though. But that's one of the things that helps, because it helps your plant to put its energy into the growth of the actual plant, and then, of course, into blossoming and fruiting. So that's one of the main things that helps these plants grow quickly. I am out here on the daily trying to run around and check everything, make sure I'm not missing any suckers, make sure none of my leaves are hitting the ground, which they do. And over time, the next day I'll find more that are on the ground, and I'll just trim them back and make sure that I don't want any funguses spread around in here. But that's one of the main things that you want to consider when you are pruning your plants. Getting those suckers off there, getting your leaves off the ground. And when you are trying to grow your tomato plants straight up, you want to make sure that that's how you're pruning them. Airflow is so huge for tomatoes. It keeps different bacteria from growing, molds and stuff. It keeps, it allows you to see what pests might be hiding in there. So if you have too many leaves and branches, they can hide. And so I trim some of that back, make sure that if I have crisscrossing branches, I trim one of them off. I don't want them crisscrossing over each other. It's a lot like fruit tree pruning in that respect. But you want to make sure that you have got the possibility for good airflow all the way through your tomatoes. But hopefully, very soon, I'm going to start reaping a harvest.